So what are we doing here?
We are here to record episode 1.
This podcast is called The Weekly Wind Down. I'm Ploofcake. I'm trans. I'm gay. I'm in a polycule.
I'm Ray. What were the things you said?
Gay.
I'm also gay. I'm also trans. I'm also in a...
Is it a polycule? There's just two of us.
No.
It's a we're dating.
It's a monogamous relationship with
it's not monogamous.
extra steps.
So this podcast is about polyamory, trans experience, dating in 2023 or the modern age, and wine, but mostly about dating and polyamory.
So that was such like dejected, like, and she fucking made me drink wine.
I don't like wine.
I suppose that's a pretty good transition.
Yeah, like the guy who ran the Segway died on the Segway. That's
yeah, he fell off a cliff on his Segway.
in the business we call this a Segway.
So this is a lot of work that I've done to get Ploof into wine, and it's all part of the plan. I did all of this just so you would drink sort of good wine with me.
Yeah, I don't like wine. I like when it tastes like apple juice. Like my favorite wine is remember that thing we did for Thanksgiving?
What thing?
The sparkling, like, Welch's sparkling cider.
Yes.
Oh, do you need the opener?
I would love to open it.
That's my favorite wine. The sparkling cider.
It's really good.
The grape sparkling cider is my favorite wine.
Oh, the white grape one is even better.
I just don't like the way liquor tastes.
I've always loved the taste of liquor, and I like my drinks to taste like booze. And I like that quality in wine, too. So this wine is a red. It's called Palazzo della Torre. Here it is here. You can see it. If it's not too washed out. It's completely washed out, isn't it?
It's super washed out. Hold it further back. No, it's washed out. We'll throw a label on screen right here. Okay. For all you audio listeners, imagine a label of wine that says...
You're really investing in your editing skills right now.
I just made, like, extra work for me.
2 hours from now, you're going to be like, fuck! I fucked up again.
Shit. Now it's done.
Did I mention I'm not an expert?
We're not experts. Not experts at wine or polyamory.
Anything. We're pretty good at a lot of stuff, I think.
The thing I'm best at right now is playing a video game called TFT, and I'm in the middle of all the rankings, so I'm about average.
I'm really bad.
So we had this idea to you are really bad.
Thanks, baby.
Honesty is important in polyamory. Rule number 1 of Fight Club. Honesty, always in all things.
Honesty. Did we mention that you're my girlfriend?
Yes, we mentioned that we're dating.
Okay. We're dating.
We are dating.
We're not exclusive, but we're dating.
We're not. Cut. So this podcast will be about polyamory, dating, wine. Oh, congratulations!
I did it. Okay, smell the cork. Sorry. You have to smell the cork.
It smells like grape juice.
That's it's made of grapes. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying the podcast is about just dating, polyamory, and just trans experience and polyamory. And you don't have to be trans to be poly or poly to be trans. You can be monogamous and trans. You can be cishet and polyamorous. And there's no rules, and that's kind of, we want to talk about it because there's a lot of misconceptions now. And this is going to evolve to be more than just polyamory, but dating as well. Just it's going to be a fun thing.
It's an excuse for us to do a cute thing together,
yeah.
And also for us to talk about. I feel like everything that we are, everything that we represent, being trans. I mean, I'm an atheist. I'm bisexual. All of these things have their intrinsic. What's the word? You just said it too.
Polyamorous.
They have their misconceptions. There's misconceptions about all of the things that we are, because we're not. We're not the.
No one's in a box.
Jack and Jill. I don't know. We're not Jane Doe and John Doe and Jane Doe.
I think that's it.
We're not your typical people.
Yeah, we're not dead. That's if you show up dead to a hospital, right?
Like you woke up dead.
That's what it is, right?
You show up dead. Oh, dead on arrival?
No. What do they call them? Oh, is that just if you can't identify them?
Oh, a Jane Doe or a John Doe. Yeah. Like how I went to Jane Doe first, and I was like, "What's the other one?" The one that we all learned first. I don't remember. Okay, so I just mashed my tooth with this
I
bottle.
heard. I think the audio might have picked that up.
Yeah, it was a clunk.
Are you always supposed to do that?
Yeah. Yep.
There's a bit of tooth floating around.
That gives it extra character.
Yeah. You sacrifice a little to the bottle for the sacrifice of the grapes.
Mm-hmm.
It's the law of like Full Metal Alchemist, or it's the law of everything has an equal price for alchemy.
Oh, that's the part where I plunge this into my wrist and
Oh
give
god.
a blood
There was
offering to Ball.
wasn't there a horror movie or someone did that?
There's a lot of horror movies where someone did that.
With a wine opener?
I don't know.
That feels like a real memory.
You should flash a visual aid here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna figure out what the movie is later.
Audio listeners, disregard this next. I'm putting a 30-minute clip of that horror film right here.
We are shitting on our audio listeners. just constant mentions of visual aids.
Yeah, we're really bad at that.
That's pretty funny.
I'm sorry. I love you, audio listeners.
Yeah, so do I.
Okay,
you're
so
all right.
explain the wine before we taste. You're supposed to let it breathe, right? I know that. You're not supposed to let it breathe.
I think it depends on the type of wine. I actually don't know. This is, like I said earlier, Palazzo della Torre. It's got a 92 on Wine Spectator, which is a magazine that's been going around for an amount of time. I forgot.
Knows what a magazine is because they're born after 2000.
So a magazine is a physical PDF.
Welcome to Weekly Wine
with
Down.
Glossy pages.
We discuss nostalgia in the 90s.
That'd be a fun podcast.
Yeah, people actually used to buy magazine subscriptions. That's a real thing.
I still get them. I get GQ a month.
You're single-handedly
in my
GQ up
in my dead name, and I don't know who sent me these. I used to get Sports Illustrated and some Men's Health.
You got the Sports Illustrated one just for the bikini.
That's probably how this all started. And now it's like 18 years later, and I'm getting GQ magazine.
You're propping up the whole GQ division in North America.
But that cover with Janelle Monáe, and we talked about it 2 weeks later. Like, yeah, they were great.
Wait, you're not gonna cheers me?
Shit. Okay, I am just by habit an alcoholic. So, so Wine Spectator gave this a 92 out of 100, and it's about a $20 bottle of wine at Total Wine and Spirits. We're in Minnesota, so like, whatever your store is, I don't know other stores. Go to your liquor store. But our local liquor store has a pretty shit selection, and so I found this one at a Total Wine. And about the scale, 90 to 94 is like an outstanding wine, and 95 to 100 is classic. Like, this is I've got an error on the Wine Spectator website. That was my visual aid for this portion. And it's failed. But on the ratings for this, it was a 92. Someone did score it as high as a 95. So one of the sommeliers or wine aficionados did give it a 95. So this is, at least by one person's account, a classic wine.
And this is out of 200, by the way. So 95 out of 200, just for the record.
Yeah, it's a 47.5%. And this is,
okay, it's out of 100.
I wonder if all my fingerprints that I put on this are washed out too. Anyway, it's a, did we say what kind of wine it is?
You did not.
It's a Veronese, which is, I have no idea.
I have no idea what that means either. It sounds fancy.
I like red wines. I like Italian red wines, and I like Spanish red wines, and that's what I know right now. So I got an Italian one.
I like the sparkling ones that taste like strawberries.
I like those too. Cheers.
Cheers. Do I have to smell it?
You don't have to smell it.
Do I have to do the thing where you listen to it? To the wine? That's my favorite TikTok. Where the guy gets poured the wine and he like swishes it around and then he puts his ear to it and he's like, yeah, this one.
This is the one.
Do I slam?
It's fucking delicious.
You think so?
I knew.
It tasted like mushrooms.
Okay.
Does that taste like mushrooms to you?
No, but
when I said it, are you thinking?
But I get the like earthy. Okay, so here's the tasting notes on this. This wine is elegant and well balanced with good structure and aroma. Ruby red in color with purple hues. It offers light hints of raisins, sophisticated notes of vanilla, black pepper, cloves, and cinnamon.
That's crazy.
It has a long velvety finish and soft tannins and mushrooms.
It didn't say mushrooms in there at all. That's crazy. Yeah.
Palazzo della Torre easily pairs with various Italian dishes, above all risottos, especially those flavored with saffron, porcini, mushrooms, and pork. Classic dishes such as pasta, blah, 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 blah. Anyway.
I added the mushroom in my mind.
You did.
Oh, it's so dry.
But the earthy flavor, I understand why you would get to mushrooms. Like I like
feel mushroom.
I like it to taste like dirt in a weird way. I like a red wine that's earthy. I
Yeah, yeah.
like hints of like grass and fucking dirt. Like
I'm trans. I love just being shit on it. So this tastes like me getting shit on.
it's my kink. It's the hot steaming. Anyway, it's funny. The person that gave this a 95 is James Suckling.
On what?
Would you like to know?
I will.
Corvina. So this is his review. Corvinone. Apologies if I'm murdering these. Rondinella and Sangiovese. In the past, all grapes were dried. Only Corvone today is dried due to the large berry size and greater liquid to solid ratio. Boring. While the oak is evident, this is clearly a full-weighted wine built to age. With this in mind, it serves a structural addendum rather than a scream. It serves as a structural addendum rather than a scream. Okay, dark saturated cherry notes, kirsch, I don't know what kirsch is, licorice strap, black olive tapenade, and alpine herb, bound to an edgy twine of tannins with an underlying raft of freshness, conferring a sappy, crunchy feel and fine length. Drink or hold.
Interesting. So kirsch is when you take eggs and you make it into like a cake with onions and like it's a breakfast. Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Do you like quiche?
I love quiche.
I hate quiche.
Quitchy.
Yeah. My mom's probably not listening to this, but she made like I didn't like quiche growing up because like it was overcooked. It was like dry.
Okay.
How
do you make a quiche
I don't know.
dry?
It's like the guy on TikTok who like flipped his
eggs after the eggs.
Yeah, I think eggs were overcooked.
You overcook your eggs, you're a soulless, awful human.
Yeah, so I didn't think I liked quiche growing up.
I
had quiche recently, not really recent, in the past year, and I thought it was freaking awesome.
I like quiche.
Yeah, so it's like
I like this wine.
Like all things, maybe instead of trying it once, you should try things more than once to really like get a feel. Like maybe not the same exact one. Like if you don't like Domino's, don't keep getting Domino's.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do, because Domino's fucks. But like that's a bad analogy. If you don't like pizza, maybe try another pizza.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll like it. Which is a great segue for trying other things. Like polyamory. Maybe it's not for you, and it doesn't have to be for you, but like
that was incredible.
You could.
I have chills. I have chills the way that you like.
I'm editing the chills bigger right now on camera. No, it's so trying new things. Polyamory is definitely something new. Well, not new. It's been around forever, but like it's starting to gain like a little bit more attention for like it's now a scapegoat for everything wrong with dating in 2023. Like even though we're what 5% of the population, we are now responsible for 95% of the dating problems because everyone's polyamorous on dating apps now.
Well, if it's not poly people, it's trans people that are ruining everything.
We're doubling down on ruining everything.
We've ruined everything.
Poly trans people ruining everything. Is the name of this podcast. Isn't there a thing like that? Adam ruins everything.
Adam ruins everything.
I love Adam ruins everything.
Hi, Adam. You'll never see this. I love you.
Okay. Polyamory may not be for you. Monogamy may not be for you. There's no right or wrong way for anything. Whoa, my God. There's never right or wrong way for any of these things to happen or to be experienced in your life.
Right.
Just like wine. It's not for every. I'm sure over time I will. Wine.
I think we're gonna do this podcast and we'll like really enjoy doing this, and you'll just equally dislike every wine
as we get further. I'm like I bags under my eyes, like Dumbledore when he has to drink the
out of the shell. Yeah. I cried so hard every time I see that because he's like, no matter what I say, whatever.
Yeah,
he makes him do it, yeah. And he's like, no, I don't want it, and he's all like an old man, like pleading like that. It just ruins me. It wrecks me as a human being. And that scene ruined my life.
That was the patriarchy. They made you feel bad for old men.
Yeah, probably. I saw an old man cry in the footage during 9/11, and I've never been the same.
That
was like an 88-year-old man that was just like bawling on fucking MSNBC, and I'm like,
there is something to like
something fucked up happened.
Yeah,
and that's how it all started for me.
There's something to that.
Yeah.
Damn, we're hitting 9/11 on the podcast already.
Jesus, we got into 9/11.
Okay, so again, podcast is about wine and polyamory and dating.
It's not really about wine, but I'm gonna drink like this whole bottle while we have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get through half this class by the time we're done.
Yes, you are.
What is polyamory? We've said that word a couple times.
Yeah,
we don't know.
What is polyamory?
No.
I think you've got notes on
I do have notes. By Oxford Dictionary, It says polyamory is the practice of engaging in multiple romantic and typically sexual, not always, relationships with the consent of all people involved. A lot of important keywords there. Sex. Doesn't always have to be part of it. Polyamory can be many things, just like a relationship is many things. Some relationships don't involve sex. Believe it or not, that's not the most important part of a relationship.
Wild.
That's right.
Right. Human
Open
connection.
communication.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
Yeah. Can you imagine like loving someone for everything and it's not just about sex? That's wild.
Yeah.
But the most important part of that key takeaway is with the consent of everyone involved.
Yep. Poly is it's so important to communicate. It's so important to communicate. It's so important to communicate. It's so important. I don't know if you knew this,
but it's like repeating one phrase in a speech to like really drive the emphasis, like the "I have a dream" speech, where it's like,
yeah,
where you're just really driving home that one point, but you just did it all front loaded.
Communication is important.
Yeah, I agree. Communication, you're gonna see later. Communication can probably solve like 95% of any relationship problem. I think
so too.
Like, I really just think people don't talk to each other. It's like those cis cis, for those of you who don't know, means cisgender, which is not trans.
Yeah. Means
and
not transgender.
Het is short phrase for heterosexual, for you're basically your man and woman relationship or woman and man relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I work in a blue collar job, and so like you hear talk at the water cooler. What's the thing where you get
water cooler?
Is that it?
Yep. Water cooler talk.
Is that?
That's totally a thing.
Okay.
I'm not gaslighting you. That is 100% a thing.
It's called water cooler?
Water cooler talk.
Wow, okay. You hear them like the old ball and chain, and like they have issues and they hate their wives, and I feel like a lot of that could be solved with just a little bit of open communication.
Yeah.
I mean, not everything, but most of it. I think like communication is important, and I don't think it's just for relationships. I think it's for everything. Everyone needs to learn to be a little bit better at communicating.
I think so too. And I think poly forces that communication.
Ooh.
And I think, I mean, polyamory done correctly does.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've always been like really open and communicative, and the listening party has been really open to what the other is saying.
Yeah.
And I think that like we don't really fight. We don't.
I don't think we've ever had a fight, and your parents are waiting.
They're waiting any minute now.
Like I think it was like the third time they came over to visit. They said they asked you, you had a fight yet?
Yeah,
like maybe they were like ready for it.
Yeah, they wish.
And it's like an anomaly. But I don't think it is. Like I think you can go like we've gotten in like have we had arguments?
We've been frustrated.
Yeah,
but not like with each other.
No, I feel that communication really lends itself because I feel like getting in a fight is when you don't speak up and things like boil over. Like I feel if something's bothering you and you just say like, "Hey, that's not cool." Mm-hmm. Like it doesn't build up to like fight because it's like instantly taken care of.
Or the other person says it's fine. I do that a lot.
Do you really?
I feel like I will say it's fine because but it's that I don't have the words to properly express how I'm feeling. It's not that I don't want to tell you.
Okay.
It's that I'm like, and I think I do a as good of a job as I can.
I think you're a great communicator.
Thank you, baby.
I think together we're great communicators.
I think we are.
Anyways, everything's happy at home. But polyamory communication is super important. What it is to me is just the definition. What it said is like being able to spread your love, whether it's physical seed, being able to spread your seed to multiple people. No, being able to spread your love to as many people as possible that you can handle.
Yeah,
ethically.
Yep.
And there doesn't need to be any like label for it. Like you don't need to say, okay, you're my boyfriend, you're my girlfriend, you're my they friend.
Yeah.
It can be like,
and I can't have any more of those things because that's ticked off. The box is ticked. I can't have another girlfriend.
It can be whatever you want. If you have like 3 boyfriends and then you have your main nesting partner, that's cool. Like there's no right or wrong way. Like there's not like you said like a checklist, like polyamory checklist. You need these things.
Your bingo card. I
exactly.
I-42. I-42.
If you can cross off one row, you're polyamory. What's the free space?
I was just gonna ask you that. What is the free space on poly?
Free space on poly is eating your partner's date's leftovers.
I like that.
Like your partner goes on a date.
Yeah.
And then they come home with leftovers, and you eat the leftovers.
I've eaten a lot of your date leftovers.
You have eaten my date leftovers because I don't eat leftovers. I'm really bad at that.
She will actually like on multiple occasions has been on a date and ordered something to go to bring it to me.
Yeah.
And that's so sweet.
Well,
Fuck
because
that
they're
shit
paying
up.
most of the time. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I think I've never been on a date.
You dog.
No, I think I've never been on a date where I don't pay. Is that weird?
No,
I feel like
I
even though I'm trans, I take like the male role in dating. Is
I do too.
that weird?
I do too. Old habits die hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, plus I don't like people doing things for me.
No, you don't.
Yeah. But there is no. That's my definition. It's like I feel there's to be no like law and order for polyamory. It can be whatever. Like
Hmm.
me and you are nesting partners. I just went on a date, and like I don't feel like I have the need for another specific checkbox to be done.
Exactly.
It's just if I have time and I have love to give, I can give it to you.
Mm,
And if I need a different kind of connection, I can find that.
exactly.
What do you think it is? Like, what's your definition of poly to you?
That's a perfect segue. Is that we love segues here.
We got three in the garage.
That'd be sick. Should sell them. They're worth.
You want to try it?
Not really.
Me just rolling up to Hy-Vee on my
I
Segway.
would break something.
Okay, but have you seen those the wheels, like the little balls, like they're like the one wheels where people like no
Yeah.
handles. It's like a Segway.
Yeah, and the board kind of goes around the wheel.
Yeah,
That's
those are.
called something. It's called.
It's like a one wheel. Let's call it one wheel. And you just lean forward on it, and you look like an anime character just
Yeah.
flying down the road.
You
Like
look like
those
the Tin Man in fucking.
are those are so cool.
They're very cool.
Until like
I don't have balance. I
bust
would
your
die.
face. Yeah,
I would die. I have no interest.
I would fall off the curb into traffic.
Boom! Smackdown.
Segue though, perfect.
Polyamory to me, you had said, kind of touched on there being like a different connection from different people. And I think that's a big note of poly is that every person that you meet, every person that you give love to or give admiration to, you give your affection to, has a different type of connection. And I think that's the beauty of poly is this idea that one person doesn't need to do all of the things. Even though you check every box for me and more, there is still a minute amount of room that I have for other things. And usually that's friendships for me. And I don't know, maybe I would say like two. I wouldn't call either of them partners, but I have one that's a very close friendship that and she'll be on the podcast.
This is who I think it is.
It is.
Say the name on three. 1, 2, 3. Stephanie.
Mally.
Oh, what? I made up Stephanie.
Who the fuck is Stephanie?
I had no idea. It was just...
Have you been speaking up?
No.
So Mally is a very, very good friend of mine. And we dated for a while, and basically we've decided that friends is the way that it is. And sometimes we go to kink parties and make out.
Yep. And it's a beautiful connection. Like
touch
we just
each other's butts.
it's
Make
that's
each other
so
laugh
beautiful.
and cry.
Touching butt cheeks is beautiful.
Touching butts is probably the main tenet of poly.
It's up there.
It's pretty high.
It's if it was a food pyramid, it would be definitely where
The grains.
it would be the grains. The
Why?
grains of the food pyramid.
The food pyramid, they told us. Adam ruins everything.
Yeah, which is
It's wrong. The food pyramid is a lie. And the dairy
we should build a
grain
polyamory food pyramid.
That's cute. Can you note that?
I will note that.
Because we should do that.
I will.
We've already got ideas for like a couple more episodes. While you're doing that, I think it's important that different people bring different things. And the other person in my kind of poly experience right now is friendship and sexual connection, and this idea that, I guess, how would I explain that? That no can be all of the things. And I think that's the main idea of poly is all of us accepting that and being okay with that, but still giving our full selves to each other.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty well. That's healthy.
That's kind of what it is to me.
That's healthy. We're you're not putting labels on things. I think that's dangerous.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
In a world of labels, be labelless.
Yeah.
Not Legolas,
Be Legolas.
the hot androgynous elf from Lord of the Rings.
Slide down an elephant
on a shield
and shoot like 30 orcs and count while you go.
Be labelless or be Legolas.
Be Legolas.
I would be Legolas.
Yeah.
Out of the three, out of the Fellowship, who would you be?
Oh shit.
Like the 9 Fellowship.
I mean Gandalf.
Gandalf.
For sure.
Why?
Gandalf the White.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a pretty cape.
Yeah, pretty cape.
Pretty
Pretty shoes.
I don't know
if the shoes are like super white.
No.
Yeah, whenever he comes out, like he has like when he meets
The
them
visual aid time? Are you
yeah,
gonna zoom
here is
in on
Gandalf with his cool boots.
it?
um, um,
I need to see.
so whenever they're in the forest with the Fangorn forest,
Oh,
um,
Gandalf.
Gandalf comes to them and he has like a gray robe
Shoes.
on,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, "Oh, it's Sauron," or is that Saruman?
Yeah,
Saruman.
Saruman. And
And
it's totally like
oh,
a
did you
shot
see?
of
Go back to that Reddit post.
oh shit.
I did use
I
him on
dare you to
Gandalf's
zoom
shoes.
on Dan. Oh
Boom.
shit.
He got some drippy ass shoes.
Is Gandalf wearing Yeezys?
So yeah, if you go,
Oh shit, Gandalf's wearing fucking Nikes.
yeah. So if you go to
The drip is real.
yes,
What the fuck?
they're like these white shoes, like super white. Like
They are laced up. They are those are like Adidas.
maybe.
Did they not think did they think the grass was gonna be a little higher when they made
No,
the
there's
cut?
so many bloopers in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, what the fuck?
But anyways, he shows up in this dusty gray cloak in the forest, and they scroll from the bottom up, so you like see it, and you're like, oh, it's Saruman, and I'm just peeping the shoes because they're super white. It kind of looks like Nacho Libre's boots. If you've ever seen Nacho Libre,
Yes, I know.
you know the white ones that he gets with the like
The
his,
lace up ones.
yes,
Uh-huh.
it's that. I don't know how we got. Okay, so you're Gandalf for the lace up boots, and we already established
Yeah.
that I'm Legolas because
Can I vape on this? Put
yeah,
a disclaimer.
yeah. No,
Like
you're
you know when you're on a TikTok live and it's like it flags you for every time I've done a live, I've been like getting ready to go out and I'm abusing my vape
does
and
it
I'm
does it
drinking.
censor you?
And it'll say like doing this may affect your health.
Oh, really?
May be detrimental to your health. So doing this may be detrimental to your health.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy. No, you can vape
Yeah.
on here, I'm sure.
I mean,
I'll ask my mom.
It's our podcast.
Yeah,
It's our house.
she said no.
Fuck.
No, okay.
That's why hair and makeup was late.
That was my hair makeup thing.
Yeah, vetoed.
Go ahead. What were we talking about?
I don't fucking know.
Being labelless
Being labelless.
or Legolas.
Being Legolas.
Yeah. So just like not putting labels on things is very, very important. Especially
up
if you're
this.
to celebrate polyamory. Our structure.
Yeah.
We are. I think between our definitions, you can kind of figure out which structure we are. We're non-hierarchical. Is that how you say that?
Hierarchical.
No, non-hierarchical.
Non-hierarchical poly.
So we just like there's no like pecking order to poly.
Mm-hmm.
If one of us gets another partner, there's no like you are my first partner, so you're up here.
Yeah.
I dookie on them. I don't care about them. Like that's there are some poly relationships. One that I was in previously,
And
where you had the same kind of thing,
mm-hmm.
where it's like these two were dating before.
Yeah.
And I came in and we were dating for a better part of a year. And then one day they're like, hey, I don't care about you as much as this person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
Oh.
first of all, you could have said that way nicer.
Yeah.
Second of all,
Maybe earlier than the year mark.
that shit hurted. And so that was a hierarchy-based polyamorous relationship.
Yeah.
It works for some people.
Right. And like any method of poly or any method of monogamy, communication and consent and everyone, involved agreeing and being enthusiastic about it,
mm-hmm.
It will work.
Yeah.
It'll work.
I agree.
And that's not something that's a really good example of poly being really good with a couple people and then one person's left out. And I think that happens often.
Mm-hmm.
You've already pivoted off the wine.
Yeah,
I'm so disappointed.
You're drinking a mushroom.
It's not a mushroom. It doesn't taste like mushroom.
I'm gonna drink a more sophisticated drink. This scored a 100 on the Ploof drink scale.
The Ploof meter.
And it's
5,000.
It's a rock star.
Have you seen the guy that's a sommelier on TikTok and he reviews energy drinks?
That's so cool.
He's awesome.
I love that.
Big Som Energy, I think. We'll watch one after this. He's amazing. He's like a world-renowned sommelier.
And he's doing energy drinks?
Like,
oh, that's so cool. That's hype.
This is the rock star, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, and he gives it tasting notes like he would a wine.
That's so
fruity. It's
cool. It's so different, too.
He gives it a scale. He gives it a score on a scale of 0 to 100. And they're all like 93s. He fucking loves energy drinks. It's really cute.
That's cool.
Just like you do.
I love energy drinks.
And I do.
Like I said the other day, you can put anything in front of me that's kind of liquid and be like, this has caffeine in it, and I'll drink it without a second thought.
Same.
Like I said, what I say, the meat drippings from like ground beef packs. You give me like a little cup of that, like there's energy drink in there.
There's 10 milligrams of caffeine in a gallon.
I'm already sucking. Um,
I hate that so much. I hate it. Anyway,
so that being said, you had the same kind of structure
I did.
before?
I don't think it was anywhere on that level. It was not for a year. It was casual dating, but it did hurt too. It was kind of this like reveal, like, I was starting to gain more feels for this person. It started out as like a sexual encounter. It became a little bit more of a, we'd meet like once a week and we'd go out and hit the bars. This was when I was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And then before I could really kind of get to that point, she hit me with the by the way, you're like fourth. And said it in nicer ways, but like I have a main partner, I have a nesting partner, I have like a side bitch that's like way more important than
That's
you.
crazy.
And
That's
then
crazy.
there's you, and I was like, okay,
yeah. So what you're
sick.
ditto.
Yeah,
I'm putting you in the daycare
yeah.
so you can make
Genderless
me eggs.
and fluid.
You're making me eggs. That's all you are. You're not in the main Pokemon party even.
No,
You're not even in the PC. I took you
just
out of
here
the
to be
PC.
bred. You're just here for me to get a Charizard that has what's the crazy move that you teach?
I don't know, Pokemon like you.
And it was like Fire Red and Leaf Green, where or maybe it was later than that, where the starter Pokemon got like a super ultra move, like Charizard has Fire Blast, right? It was like fire fuck. It was like instead of it doing 120 damage,
It was like
did
a
150.
Oh shit!
It did way more, and it had a high crit chance. And it was like this special move. And if you bred your Charizard, shout out to anyone with a breeding kink. We don't kink shame here.
I thought we were talking about the food.
Oh, kink is coming up.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about kink. That's fun too. So if you breed your Charizard, it'll produce a little cute ass level 1 Charmander with Firefuck.
Already equipped?
Already.
Oh
It'll know like Ember, Scratch, Growl, and Firefuck.
Firefuck.
And it will fuck you.
What the heck?
So yeah, that's what Ditto's for.
You were number 4 Ditto.
I was Ditto.
Just used and abused.
But I didn't even know Firefuck. I didn't even get to experience the Charmander with Firefuck. It was just Ditto. But anyway, like it wasn't that long. It was literally we probably dated for a month or two. And
still getting hit with a number 4, that's kind of crazy.
But then I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm good.
Okay, and that's something I think...
And I think I just ghosted after that.
Good for you.
I mean, I don't like ghosting. We'll probably talk about that eventually.
I love ghosting.
I've been very adamant about not ghosting people and communicating with them, even when it's stuff that, like, you don't really want to say to a person, like, hey, this isn't working out. I don't have the same feels that you have, or not that, we're good.
I'm the Danny Phantom of dating.
I don't know what that means. I'm too old.
Oh,
I know who Danny Phantom is. It was a
Going
show
Ghost, where he turns into a ghost.
Is that on Disney?
That's Nick. Nickelodeon.
Yeah. I'm old.
We'll talk. Ghosting is going to be another episode. Stay tuned. So, that's our past poly relationships. This is my second poly relationship, and it has been going. It's all right. It's so good. It's so good. Cool. It is one of the most fulfilling relationships I've ever been in.
Still wine left?
It is the most fulfilling relationship I've been in, and
same.
I feel it's so much more communicative, and
infinitely so than any I've been in.
It's very responsible feeling, and it cares for each other. Like, we make room for each other to make sure our needs are met. Yeah. I feel that goes back to communication.
You meet all of my needs, and I am sad and sleepy.
That meets
I think is
all
what
my
you
needs.
meant.
that meets my needs.
Thank fucking God. There is a match for anyone. There is, if you look hard enough, there is a perfect match for you, and I found mine. I can be sad and EP, and you can literally be the greatest human on the planet, and that makes up
undervaluing yourself.
You are the perfect supplement to me. I got a good one.
You're undervaluing yourself here.
Thanks. We're gonna go fuck.
So
cut. Check, please.
What poly isn't?
What poly isn't though?
Common misconceptions.
What poly ain't though?
Polyamorous. Poly misconceptions that you might hear about if you are just, layman's like knowledge of polyamory. You're probably thinking, wow, these people just want to fuck.
Right.
And we do. Don't get us wrong.
Of course we do.
Polyamory, like, sex is part of any relationship. But that's not the entire tenet. As you've seen so far talking, it's about fulfilling
Needs.
connections. Yeah, needs.
One of those is sex.
That is a very
It's
important
one of
part, but not the sole
Mhm.
part.
No.
Like the
As with
two.
any relationship, if your relationship is for sex, you're not going to have a good time. If it's
Mhm.
only sex, it's not going to work.
But
If
it
it's
can.
only one thing,
It could work. Like,
unless that's,
if
agreed
that's your
on by
connection.
both parties,
Yes.
and you're like, we are here for sex, and that's a great thing.
There are some people who just connect for sex.
Yeah.
And they're consistent sex partners in each other's life. And that's really cool.
Absolutely.
But the main point of polyamory isn't an excuse to just go out and fuck.
And if you're starting poly with that in mind,
you're going to be very disappointed.
It's not going to work.
And the poly community is so small, and you don't want to tarnish your reputation that way.
Yeah. Word travels fast. There's 7 of us in this city.
7 of us.
There's so many more than that.
In the whole world.
But, like, word gets around.
We're the Dragon Balls of dating.
You have to find them. I mean, it feels like pursuing the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
Finding a person. Like, we were just talking about, we've been talking about this entire relationship, about having, like, a cute little boyfriend.
Yeah.
that cuddles with us and stays up late with me and wakes up with you. That's a lot for...
We'll find it.
They couldn't do both of those.
They could.
They'd sleep like 2 hours a night.
That's fine.
All right, so
we're looking for a house elf.
if you are a cute little himbo that sleeps 2 hours a night, and likes to cuddle and go to the gym and play video games. Anyway,
what else isn't polyamory? It's not kink.
It's not.
It's not focused around just kink.
Nope.
You'll find that a lot of people in the polyamory community are a little bit more open and kinky. You are.
I am one of those people, and I'm actively exploring that. But it's not.
I'm not. I like the fucking missionary because I can see their face.
Wow, you got a cool shorthand for missionary. It makes it sound cool.
Yeah, right.
And I love.
We're bringing it back.
I like eye contact.
Yeah, exactly.
I like
thinking about
missionary
Jesus.
Was great for thinking about Jesus.
I can pray halfway through, like
absolutely.
I'm in the middle. I had to stop for a quick.
I say thank you, Jesus, every time. Yeah, up, down, left. For the what do
you can look up as you finish. This one's to you, God.
I say thank you, Jesus, as I'm coming every time. Why not?
It's crazy.
I know.
It's actually insane.
Every time.
You do not.
But no, poly isn't an excuse to go get kinky and do things that your girlfriend won't do.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be kinky to be polyamorous. Some people are, because like it is. You'll find as you go to more progressive spaces and more progressive concepts like polyamory. Free thinkers tend to be a little bit more open to trying new experiences.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
Yeah.
I personally
poly have two. Have that in common, probably above all else, is open-mindedness.
Yeah,
and people who are willing to try things more than once.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you don't need to be. It's not about kink. It's not about sex. Is it about cheating on your loved ones?
No, it is not.
It's not about cheating on your loved ones.
We mentioned communication earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I have known about every date you've been on.
Yeah.
You have brought me food from Papa.
Yeah.
More than.
And I've known about every date you've gone on. We have a calendar that we update, and we put like date with so and so, date with blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Bowling.
And then then I reach out to my people on the side, and they do that also. Like, hey, I have these days open. Would love to see you, because like this day, I'm with, who's it, what's it, and we're going to do this stuff. But I have Friday open. I have Saturday open.
Yeah, communication.
Let's do a thing. So communication.
You don't always have to. There's certain poly relationships where it's like, don't ask, don't tell. Where say we were in a relationship, which we are, but say that you didn't care to hear about my sexcapades.
Yeah.
And you could be like, unless I ask, don't tell me.
I want to know.
And I could just be like, hey, I'm going to be out tomorrow night. And you're like, cool.
Yeah. That's
a poly structure. I'll
stay here and listen to Elliott Smith really loud until you get home and over there, baby. No, I want to know. And there are people that do that. And to me, not to be like, that's bad. That's an incorrect way to do poly.
Because they're not actually cool with it the whole way? Do you think it's because they'd be jealous?
I think there's a lot of things that go into not wanting to know. And I think that's valid. And again, like we said earlier, as long as both parties are accepting that, I think that's great. But I think she just drank wine again.
It tastes like a mushroom.
Like a porcini mushroom.
No, what's the one that we always get? The
I don't like mushrooms.
You don't like mushrooms? I might not like mushrooms after this one.
I like this.
It tastes like a portobello mushroom.
Give it a scale. Give it a number. I keep saying scale instead of give it a number on 0 to 100. Your honest reaction.
3.
This is a 3. You heard it. You heard it here first. I would give this.
I don't know what suckling.
That's the man's last name.
I don't know what suckling was on about, but this is not my favorite
Sir
one.
James Suckingford the Fourth.
Sir Sucking
Gave this a 95 out of 100. Sir Sucking. I think that was a username on Grindr. I saw it.
Sir Sucking.
Later. Where were we? I was about to make a good point, or you were.
I have no good points on this podcast.
You've made so many already.
We were talking about how it's not ethical polyamory, non-monogamy is communication with your primary partners, your partners in general, and just like letting everyone know what's up. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're having sex. If you're having sex, like kind of let people know when you're sexually active with people, and
and condom usage and STI history and all of these things have to be discussed. They have to be openly discussed.
Wow, that's communication.
It's communication.
That's crazy.
Does this whole podcast just boil back to communication?
Hello, welcome to the Communication Podcast,
where we communicate communicatively.
And where we communicate our communication methods communicatively. Communicatively.
It's like hierarchical.
Yeah. Welcome to the Triple C Podcast. So it's not an excuse to cheat. It's not.
Nope. Can you cheat in poly?
Absolutely, you can. A lot of people think like, oh, it's free for all. Like,
I got some bad news for you. You can absolutely cheat in polyamory if you are.
That's the free Joe.
That is a Baron Corbin impression from the World Wrestling Entertainment. And I watched that like 6 years ago, and he would always come out on stage wearing like a stupid crown. Everyone hated him, so he was really good at being hated.
Were they the villain?
Always the villain.
Okay.
And just like overly everything.
Do you think that gets to them? Do you think like that over time, like that wears down their psyche to be a villain?
I bet.
Do you think it pays good?
Probably. I've heard some people like left WWE because they weren't making any money and they went to like AEW
Okay.
But no, Baron Corbin would come out, and before he went into his weird silly shtick, he had this character where it was called King Corbin, and he wore the stupid crown. It was really dumb. But cool. Before that, he was like a really good villainy character, and he would always come out and he'd have the spiel, and he would eventually say, because they always have their catchphrases. He'd say, "I got some bad news for you," and I've said that like weekly forever now. I'll say that till I die. I'll be like 97, and say in a very deep, manly voice, "I got some bad news for you," and then
that'd be an epic
I'll
prank.
croak.
That'd be an epic prank.
It'd be funny, right?
You pretend to die.
It's all for the bit.
At the funeral, you get up and say that.
"I got some bad news." I kick the casket open. And I was gonna die, but I so badly wanted to talk to you all about Baron Corbin.
You needed to commit
the time I watched WWE in 2017.
And so the bad news, the bad news on cheating in poly is it can be done.
You can do it if you deceive your partner, if you willfully deceive your partner. Yeah.
If it feels like you're doing something wrong, you're probably doing something wrong.
Chances are.
Like if you have any moral compass, you'll know when you're cheating.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't need like a degree to know that.
No.
Like if I were to be like, "Hey babe, I'm gonna go to the grocery store tomorrow at 7:30, and I might not be back till the morning."
Wow, that's I know you love the grocery store.
I love grocery shopping.
I think it's a little weird, but ultimately I'd be like, yeah, there's sometimes you gotta go to the grocery store.
I love grocery shopping. I honestly would be there till morning if I was grocery shopping. For me, it's very therapeutic. Does it feel like liminal space? Like it's.
I don't know. When I walk into a grocery store, I start sweating and convulsing because it's depending on my mood for the day. I suffer from anxiety. Mm-hmm. I am an anxiety-ridden person. And something about the last couple years walking into that place, it may be the fact that I'm trans and I'm terrified of being perceived. Mm-hmm. We've talked about this before. Yeah. Walking into that space, perception. The burden of perception.
So real.
That's a whole fucking episode. That's not even... Once we flesh out the main stuff and start getting to the B-sides and the deep cuts in episode 47, we'll have an episode titled "The Burden of Perception."
Yeah, that's deep.
That's a fucking book title.
I'm 12 and this is deep.
You need a pseudonym by Clanky Johnson, MD.
By
The burden of
Slippery Joe.
Slippery Joe. See, I made up a name, and I was pretty proud of it. You didn't make up a name.
Slippery Joe's a good name.
Slippery Joe. For all intents and purposes, these people wouldn't know that you didn't make that up, but I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Because we communicate. So we date, and we're poly in the year of our Lord and Savior 2023.
My sibling in Christ.
Do you think that polyamorous relationships are going to be the death of monogamy?
No.
Why not?
I don't think there is like a trend. I don't think there's any one thing that will rule the world of dating.
What about the gay agenda?
The gay agenda is taken over.
The woke mind virus is on Tinder and OkCupid and Bumble and all the dating apps now. And there are now people in non-monogamous relationships.
95% polyamorous people floating around because they've been cast out of there.
Is this true?
No, there was somebody. Wasn't there like a person that was complaining? You were telling me about this recently. There was somebody complaining about all the poly people that they've run across on dating apps.
Yeah.
It's funny to me because
it's weird that all the people you think are attractive on dating apps polyamorous. I'm not gonna say A is equal to B, but something is equal to C.
You? Yeah. A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Yep, and that's Newton's third law.
That is the Pythagorean. And episode 54 is mathematics. Later.
But to set your mind at ease, dear monogamous listeners, if you're still here,
they're long gone.
According to the Chapman University, a statistic published in 2021, only 4 to 5% of the American population practices polyamory. That's not a lot. For instance, 2 to 3% are transgender. So there's more polyamorous people than transgender people. And a lot of that is overlapped.
I'm going to look up the U.S. population. We're going to do some quick maths.
U.S.
poop. I typed in U.S. poop.
Don't type in U.S. poop.
As of 2021, it's 332 million. So 33.2, so 16.6. So about 16.5 million people would have been
polyamorous?
Polled as polyamorous if they were to, if that, extrapolated to the full population. So think something like that.
That's crazy. 16 million poly people in the U.S.
3 times the population of Minnesota.
While a 2019 YouGov survey found that 7% of the UK adults have been in consensual non-monogamous relationships at some point in their lives. This could have been just like a college freak summer where they decided to get a little strange with multiple people.
I knew you were going to say little strange.
Little strange, that's my favorite thing. This latter statistic represents a marked increase from a similar survey conducted in 2015, which showed that only 2% of UK adults had been in such relationships. So what this shows to me is that it's becoming a little bit more acceptable to be polyamory. So that study done 4 years later, there was not 5% more people converted to polyamory. I feel that 5% more people.
You say like we have missionaries that go around and
we actually
we weren't supposed to tell them about that. We weren't supposed to talk about that. Episode 67.
What this tells me is that it's more acceptable to talk about it.
Right, like all of the things that we are. I'm 34 years old.
Yeah, you are. Robbing the cradle.
Robbing the grave. I've seen such an increase in acceptance and tolerance. Those are just shit words to me. Of the gay community, of the queer community at large, of the trans community. I know that we're still working on that. But like everything, there's this initial sticker shock of poly. You're fucking someone else? That's heresy. Jesus doesn't like that. And then people hear about it more and more, and they learn about it, or they meet someone that's poly, and they're like, "Wow, I really care about you, and I care about the things you say." So they learn a few things about it. We're to that point, I think, with polyamory, where enough people know what it is, and enough people accept that without just rejecting it at face value. And that's kind of where we are with a lot of the things that we self-identify as. Being trans is a lot of people immediately say, "Fuck that." Being polyamorous, people, They have their misconceptions, and I think those are really strong. And the way that we're portrayed in media is usually sex hungry mongrels that are just, trying to fuck. Get some strange,
Get some strange.
and it's so much deeper than that.
Is it though?
Yes, that's what this podcast is
I'm
about.
teasing. I'm teasing.
Yes,
Yes,
100%.
I 100%
Yes.
agree with you.
What is it?
No one is ever one aspect of themselves, and I think the over-sexualization of trans women is sad.
Well, and the
'cause-
over-sexualization of poly people, and the over-sexualization of
women.
bisexual people,
Yeah.
and women in general.
I think
feminine
over-sexualizing
people.
everyone is bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think we should not sexualize ourselves if we feel like we want to present ourselves that way.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. I think it's, again, burden perception.
Consensually.
Consent.
Yeah.
When it's the burden of perception where you're being sexualized and you don't want to be sexualized.
Yeah.
I feel like that's wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's we kind of differ on that. Where the kink events that I go to, I like being perceived that way, and I like being sexualized in that environment because I feel safe there, and I know that people there that think I'm hot really think I'm hot.
But do you think going to an event like that opens up consent just by being there?
No.
To be sexualized?
It's a good question.
Let's make a kink episode.
Let's make a kink episode.
We'll touch back on that at a later date.
I've had too much wine.
You're okay.
Oh, by the way, I'm just going to be drunk at the end of every one of these.
I'm so happy.
Because I'm going to drink 97% of a bottle of wine.
I'll drink 3%.
And Ploof's going to say what she hates about it and what weird, earthy vegetable it tastes like.
They all just taste like mushroom.
It tastes like...
Let's do a yummy one next time.
Okay.
This is not
we're going to split off. So you pick the next one.
I want you to pick all of them and just, surprise me.
Okay. Well, I'll get a fruity one for you. You little fruit.
Okay, so if you're saying that... We're saying that there are not a lot of poly people in the U.S., for example. Yeah. 16 million out of 33 million.
I mean, that's a lot of fucking people.
331.9
Thank
million.
You.
Oh my god, that was so hard to say.
I got you.
There's not a lot of poly people. How come every time I'm swiping right, eyes rolled back on Tinder, I'm swiping right on poly hotties? What is going on? There can't be that many. Why are there so many on the apps?
I don't know. I feel like you're setting yourself up for a point that you have already talked
Do you
about.
have an idea, any guess why?
Not really.
Well, I don't know statistically why, but I
people
feel like
think they see more than they do. It's like trans people. They're everywhere now.
Well, I do feel like there are a lot of poly people online.
Yeah.
Because
we're all out searching for that person. But think of how many people you've swiped on recently.
Majority of them have been poly.
Have they?
Yeah.
I think I need to pay closer attention.
I have a theory.
Because I swipe on baddies.
Yeah, you do.
And then I don't read the bio.
Because
I'm shallow as fuck.
You're in that video of the chicken breast warmed up on the drill, and it's just swiping right for the person. They set their phone up with a chicken breast.
Like a raw chicken breast?
It's warmed up till it's a human temperature. And it's going around and it's swiping on the phone.
It is smacking indiscriminately.
And it's dragging across and swiping right.
Oh my god. And somebody positioned the chicken breast to just have that little the flap.
Yes. It's exactly it.
Smack the I must
I'll show you it. It's so good.
We've got a lot of media to digest after this. We got to look at Sir Ian McKellen's Yeezys.
His Yeezys.
We've got to look at what you just said, the chicken titty.
Chicken breast swiping.
Swiping.
Let's get back to the point.
Anyway, I'll derail us a little.
It was supposed to be a 30-minute episode.
Where are we?
We're probably an hour in. Oh, we're an hour in. Exactly. We're an hour and 1 minute in. I know, so these are going to be longer episodes. They're bi-weekly. I know it says the weekly wind down, but...
Yeah, bye.
We're going to do them once every 2 weeks. Because I'm editing these and it'll take me a second with my busy schedule.
Until I figure out how to do it and help. I'm just kidding. I'll be sitting here being sad and tired.
But the reason I think that so many polyamorous people are on dating apps, and I don't think it's a problem some people make it out to be they're everywhere, all these fucking polyamorous people are on my dating app. I don't think it's that. I think what's going on is that the majority of us don't know where to find other polyamorous people in person. If you go to a bar, let's say
what are the chances that you run into someone that's poly?
It's lower.
And that can be a deal breaker for a lot of people. Yeah. So I think that's a really good point you make, is that you need to be You need to establish that consent up front. And why go meet someone and put in the work if you're going to say 45 minutes in, I'm poly, and they say, well, fucking bye.
Yeah. Yeah. It's easier to find your community online.
Right. Right.
Like, if I'm really into growing tomatoes in the Midwest, I could find a community for tomatoes growing in the Midwest.
That's right.
Instantly. I can go online and find them.
Yeah.
If I'm dating, I can set my parameters on the dating apps to show me poly hotties.
My father, for years, was part of a Toyota Tacoma owners Reddit. No, it was a Facebook group.
That's a very specific.
It was a Facebook group.
See, and there's a community.
And they would all talk about their Tacomas.
And that's
so niche.
That's us, but it's a little bigger.
Yeah.
And so I feel like us being
There's probably more Tacoma owners than there are.
Right? That'd be great.
There are polyamorous people.
Well, the statistics.
Well,
no, don't.
Okay.
Okay, unless you want to. I feel that that's why you have so many poly people on dating apps. Is because where are you going to find people? If you want to date poly people, you go on Tinder and put non-monogamous,
right, or
polyamorous, and you're
going
to
both see, wow, they're poly too. Mm-hmm. Cool. That's one huge conversation you don't need to have.
Yep, and I feel
like they get it.
That it's not as out of proportion as you think it is. If you are complaining about seeing poly people on your dating apps,
I'm not seeing enough.
I'm not seeing enough.
I want to see only poly. I want there to be a dating app. I mean, like Field is
that is Field, but Field's UI is
it's also a swingers app, and we're not swingers.
We're trying to make connection.
We're trying to
human connection.
Yeah, and maybe some swingers are doing that too.
And a nipple belt.
And an Ed Gein nipple belt. We're probably going to talk about Ed Gein's nipple belt a lot on here.
It's on my notes right here. Ed Gein nipple belt is the top 5.
Look at it. It's right there.
Speaking points. I have a picture of the Ed Gein nipple belt.
Yep.
I'm going to put that right here. I'm just kidding. It's not going to.
We just went from a PG-13 to an R rating.
Yeah.
By flashing the nipple belt. And free the nipple.
We can get to.
Don't free Ed Gein though, because he'll take your nipples.
He will steal your nipples.
Is he dead? He's dead.
I hope he is.
I think he's been dead for a while.
His phylactery is the nipple belt.
Ed, you can come out of the basement now.
Yeah, so small dating pools.
I just got it. His phylactery. That's funny. I was visualizing.
Small dating pools kind of shelter people online. You'll see trans people online too a lot more.
Yeah.
Because it's safe online to meet people. And you can again find your Toyota Tacoma communities.
You can.
That's all I had really about polyamory. That's just a very broad painting of it.
Yeah.
You had some stuff you want to pull up, right?
Oh my god, I absolutely did. So we've been talking about it's funny how we just kind of segue ourselves without really knowing it.
What do you mean?
Maybe in the back of our mind, because we've been talking about Field, and we mentioned Grindr, we mentioned Tinder, we mentioned swiping, we mentioned being poly online. So what I have done is pulled up some fun best ofs from the poly and Tinder and Grindr subreddits, and just kind of found some fun ones that I wanted to show and read you online. And I have not, she's not seen any of these.
I have not.
I have chuckled to myself on the couch, and she has been like, what's that? And I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna. And it's so difficult for me to not share things with you. And I am so proud of myself for keeping this in, because you get to see this live. Thank you, baby. If I can figure out how to pull it up. The first one is a message that I sent to that couple that we were talking with very briefly, and then they ghosted.
The one who wanted to date?
Yeah, the one who
go on a date with us.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then he kind of disappeared. It is what it is. But on our linked Field profiles, it says something about us being 2 for 1, and in this economy, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
That's on my profile. So anyway, she messages and said, 2 for 1, woo, a steal. And I'll blur out stuff.
Yeah. I'll put these on the screen for all you audio listeners.
Oh, damn it. Half the joke is her name. I mean, there's no last name. Is that fine?
Yeah.
That's anonymous as fuck. Okay.
No one's going to know who.
Sharon.
Yeah, no one's going to know who Sharon is.
Her name's Sharon. So so she says, 2 for 1, woo, a steal. I say, but wait, if you call right now, we'll throw in a complimentary meat and cheese board. And I'll yell, Sharon, like Ozzy Osbourne. She said, damn, this deal is incredible. I'll pay in advance. And I said, I cut it off here, all I need is, 3 easy payments of your 10-digit phone number.
Oh, shit.
And I got the digits.
And they didn't come to pick up?
And then we talked for another day, and I never heard back.
Oh my gosh, that's like actually a sad ending.
I'm very sad now.
You should mess with a Mac. That's the thing. If you're poly, you have more opportunities
To be
to
ghosted.
be ghosted.
How many times collectively do you think we've been ghosted since we started dating?
I have
And do you think
ghosted.
it's
I have
more?
ghosted
No, no, no.
eight people. Oh,
Not
we've been ghosted.
not. Do you think you have ghosted more? You've ghosted more people that have ghosted you for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ploofy loves ghosting.
I don't love ghosting. I just have a very interesting perspective on what you owe a stranger.
That's true, and that's a valid. That's valid.
Well, it's like I'm taking care of my mental.
To me, it's like, is there a what is the break point for where you get to ghost and where you don't anymore?
If I've been on more than 2 dates with somebody, I will not ghost.
Okay.
If I've been on one or 2 dates,
physical dates.
yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah,
Is that feel pretty fair? Because I
think
feel
that's
that
pretty
point
fair.
with strangers.
You don't owe anyone anything.
This is true. You do not owe anyone anything. Sure, it's polite, it's not ghost, but we'll get into a ghosting episode.
Yeah, I think we'll really need to dig into that.
I am now the villain of the Weekly Wind Down podcast.
You twirl your snively whiplash mustache. That was perfect. That was
I used to
so
have one of
good.
those mustaches. Yeah, I did. Remember I showed you?
Oh fuck! Yeah, on your computer.
Yeah, pre-transition, I used to have like a handlebar like twisted up, like it had the wax.
It was terrible.
It was really bad.
It was so bad.
I was clinging to
I
my
love you,
masculinity
and it
with
was so
everything
bad.
I had.
Oh my god, that should be an episode too, where we talk about how we hyper masculinized right before the fall of,
Rome.
the fall of Troy. The there's something that Gandalf says about
Fall of Troy.
He
says
it's the deep breath before the plunge.
Ooh.
It's the deep breath before the plunge.
Yeah.
And they're standing over Minas Morgul, him and Aragorn, right before Aragorn makes the deal with the leader of the
undead.
What's his name?
Bad guy, ghost guy.
Bad guy, ghost guy. He makes the deal with that, and Gandalf says right before the big climax of Return of the King.
Yeah.
It's the deep breath before the plunge. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
2005 me in the theater, like, I got a Woody.
You saw it in theater?
I got a Woody when he said, yes, I saw all 3 movies in the theater, and I've seen every Star Wars in the theater.
That's crazy.
I saw all the Harry Potters in the theater.
I wasn't old enough to go to any of those. You had to be 13.
I mean, your upbringing was a little different. There's a whole episode.
Oh, yeah, I was Mormon.
Yeah.
Waiting to drop that at the end.
And I convinced my mom that God is dead when I was 12. I was like, we were leaving church one time, and I was like, you really believe this shit?
Really?
Like, I don't know.
When you were 12?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I was like,
the episode. Religious.
I don't really believe this. I'm like, I don't want to go anymore. And we had a conversation on the ride home. And I was like, I don't want to. Sorry, I keep glancing at the visual aid that's about to come up. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. You looked at it.
How are you stronger than 50% of America at 12 years old?
I convinced her, or we had an open adult conversation about going to church.
You were 12 years old.
And we haven't gone since.
That's crazy.
She goes to funerals, and that's it.
Well, I don't think that's inherently religious.
That is not religious. They just happen to be at churches.
If I die.
You will never die.
I don't think I will.
No, you can't.
I think I have enough caffeine in my system to not die. I don't think there's anything wrong with going to funerals.
No.
I don't feel like that's religious.
No, show your support to your family and friends.
That's spiritual.
Yeah, I think so. They just are in church, which is a bummer to me.
We're going to steal my body from the morgue when I die. And we're going to do a Jedi funeral where they burn me out in the woods on like a rock slab. Oh. Like Qui-Gon Jinn.
The fucking Qui-Gon's funeral, by the way.
So beautiful.
The music for that.
Makes you cry.
Everything. Every time. John Williams' best work in the Star Wars prequels was Qui-Gon's funeral. Look it up. Listen to it right now.
Did it go hard?
One of my favorite, most moving songs, and probably the best use of a French horn I've ever heard in my life.
Okay.
It's incredible. I have chills thinking about it.
Ooh, French horn. May I introduce you to an old cartoon called All Dogs Go to Heaven? Remember the French horn in there?
I do not. I bet it was.
That's pretty good.
Bussin'.
It was
bussin'. Bussin'.
It was pretty bussin'.
It was bussing.
Okay, show me the next.
Okay, so the next one. We have, and we'll be displaying these, right? On the screen?
Yes, on the screen, audio listeners, we're describing to you a Grindr message.
This is a Grindr message.
Posted on the Grindr, r/Grindr community on Reddit. Yep.
And what we have is a no profile picture message from a person, and it's
default photo.
A default photo. Thank you. And it just says, frankly, I will suck a fart out of your ass. And there's no response. It was sent at 5:57 p.m.
Yeah,
You can double tap to like the message.
5:57 p.m. is such
It
a
was
bold
not liked.
time. That is such a bold time to send that message.
At 5:57 p.m., somebody said, "I will suck a fart out of your ass."
What are you doing at 5:57? You just got
Sucking
home.
farts.
You just got home.
Sucking ass.
Microwaved a Hungry Man dinner.
Yeah.
And you're on Grindr.
And you said, you know what this kind of smells like?
No, you're saying you need a dessert.
And you got a little hard thinking about sucking a fart out of somebody's ass. And you sent that message from an anonymous profile with a default profile picture.
Grindr is such a cesspool.
Grindr is a gem. And if you ever want to feel simultaneously validated and taken advantage of, post some skimpy pictures on Grindr and turn your notifications on and set your phone down.
And shove it up your ass.
And shove it up your ass.
Set it to vibrate.
Suck
shove
it out
up
of
your
ass. Suck it out your ass. Moving on. Yeah, we're gonna have to blur some usernames here. Okay. This is someone's bio.
I don't think you have to blur this one.
Yeah.
Nutty Buddy?
Yeah, but that's a specific username. Like somebody could type that in. We're
Can
not going to say the number.
search people on Grindr?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, really?
Yep. But we're not going to say the number after it. We'll blur it out.
I'm going to blur that. You're going to see this blurred right
I mean,
here.
there's numbers behind it. You'll never find it.
Again, we are on Grindr.
This is a Grindr profile. And the profile about me section says mostly interested in trans, parentheses, MTF, male to female. And then it says, oh yeah, with an H, with an H at the end. Definitely turns me out. Not on. I mean on. Okay. Out, I mean on. Ice, bud, alcohol, duh, sloppy, wet, 69, loud moaning, raw ass fucking balls slapping, deep loud, moan grunting, orgasm, until we are both drained, dry balls, empty.
God damn, that's horrible. Okay, but when you did that first line, okay, go read from the to wet 69.
Definitely turns me out. I mean, ice on. Wait. Sorry. Definitely turns me out. I mean, on. Ice, bud, alcohol, duh. Sloppy wet, 69.
That's like such a beat. Like, that's a rap.
That is a 2000s Xbox username.
But if you hear the way you're reading that, you're breaking it into like...
definitely turns me out. I mean, on. Ice, bud, alcohol, duh. Sloppy wet. I can't find it.
Can you find the flow in that? The way you read it the first time, I was like, okay, this is kind of a beat.
Definitely turns me out.
Like, I mean, track behind that?
Ice, bud, alcohol, duh. Sloppy wet. No,
Okay, either way, do you think that they are getting what they are looking for on Grindr?
No.
First of all, they're 5'5", 100 pounds.
Wow. Slim. Listed as slim. He, him, his pronouns.
They're just a little...
Versatile.
There's a little fella.
Discreet, trans,
all
quaint.
My fellas.
They're looking... All my fellas.
They're just looking to get thrown...
They're looking
at the wall.
Fucking something. Orgasm. They want to have
They want
orgasm.
Why is there... Okay, Bud Light in there that really threw me off.
Ice, bud, alcohol, duh, sloppy wet, 69. Loud moaning, raw ass fucking balls slapping deep loud.
They are SEO optimizing their Grindr dating profile.
Yeah. Every keyword possible. If this is searchable by keywords, they've already all found it.
Yeah, they're waiting for the update.
It was amazing. I give that a 97 out of 100. Next we have this is another Grindr message. We have the blue text and the yellow text. So blue text is the person that messages you. The yellow text is yours. The blue text says, "You have meth?" Space question mark. Reply says, "No," with skull emoji.
Okay.
And this was received at 4:08 a.m. That is the entirety of the conversation.
Okay, but you kind of have to give them credit for answering that message at 4:09 a.m.
Yeah, that 1 minute later they answered.
Like they are on their Grindr grind.
Yeah.
That is something that Grindr is used for.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I've never done drugs, I'm a good Christian child.
I've done a lot of drugs. There's an episode. I've done every drug.
No, you haven't.
I think I've done every drug.
And look at you.
I have not done fentanyl.
That's great.
And you couldn't do fentanyl. But I have. Oh shit! Rue's gonna.
Don't.
Come here.
Don't. He'll knock things over.
No, he's so ginger with his walking. Our cat Rue really wants to come up on the table, and I really hope he does.
He's eyeballing it right now.
Eventually he will. Rue.
Here he comes.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh. Come on.
He's standing on his back legs looking at us.
Oh my god. I can't believe he wasn't in the shot there. Come here. Come on, Rue.
We're going to have a cat butthole on our camera if he jumps up here.
That's true.
That rings the rating up.
Yeah, that was NC-17.
I'll have to blur it like the people on TikTok who blur their They're Shibu dogs, you know.
What? The
What
Shiba Inu?
is that? The dog?
They're Doges?
Yeah, they blur the buttholes on their dogs on TikTok.
Why?
I don't know.
Are people into? Do people have a thing with
I
Shiba?
don't know.
Shiba asshole?
I don't know.
They want to suck a fart out of their Shiba Inus.
It's weird. I think blurring it makes it weirder.
Do you see this fucking cat?
He's making love eyes at you.
He's so cute.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, the next
But
one.
you can use Grindr for drugs.
You can use your Grindr for drugs. Not that we condone that.
I don't use something like that.
Okay, we have a Grindr message. There's a lot of Grindr messages. I'm realizing.
Message.
I'll try to be a little more, because this is my favorite thing ever.
You love Grindr.
Maybe we do this on. We should open our Grindrs
I would never.
and just let the notifications.
Oh
come
my
in.
god, see what we
It's
get
so
in an
fun.
hour. Let's do it on the Grindr episode. On the Grindr episode, we'll open it for an hour.
Oh, we'll open it up on the podcast
And we're not going to show it on the
And-
camera.
and put our notifications
And
on.
we'll talk about Grindr, and then we'll see what we get.
Fuck, that's a great idea. Please note that.
I will note it right now.
Please note that.
I will note
I
it.
love you. Thank you. We have a Grindr message. So yellow text. The person texting says, or no, the person that screenshotted this says, "Hi, hookups." This is at 21:08, so 9:08 p.m. The other person replies, "No, butt is sore," and I love that honesty.
That's real.
I applaud that.
Polyamory communication.
As if there is no way to hook up.
If your butt is sore, your butt is sore.
That's right. Well, yeah, if your butt hurts, you don't really want to do. If it's
Anything.
that sore, yeah.
How sore?
I don't know. It's just sore.
Sad.
Moving on. We have a Grindr message.
Sensing a theme here.
I'm going to zoom a little bit. We have blue text. So this message was received at 2:47 p.m. It says, "Can I suck your dick?" And then we have an immediate reply. No thanks. And then, "Do you smoke cigarettes?" And yeah, there's no chemistry here.
Yellow's a little rude though on it.
And then, yeah, they're kind of shitty about it. And then blue says, "Can I have a cigarette, please?" Yellow says, "You're 22 miles away."
Oh my gosh. Okay, poor Blue just wants something in their mouth.
They just, yeah,
They need something. in their
they
mouth.
need an oral fixation.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm kind of mad at Yellow because they're kind of
no,
dick about it.
Yellow can turn it down, but then
That's true.
saying there's no chemistry here like that, that's not nice.
Yeah, but just to be like, "Can I suck your dick?"
But then, yeah,
I mean, if that's what you're on for. I mean, what if Yellow's profile is like looking to get my dick sucked,
Oh my god.
and they were just like, "No."
At Grindr, I don't think. I think there is no ethical way to message on Grindr.
No consensual way.
I feel like you have to regress.
Everything that happens on Grindr is without your consent.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Until you agree to meet up or something.
It just makes me sad seeing these messages sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, there's such desperation.
I love it. I eat it. I eat it up. I suck it out of someone's ass. I mean, we have blue text only. There are no replies to this. So these messages were received starting at, they were all at 4:17 p.m. "I'd suck." That's one message. "Spoil with luxurious gifts, asterisk. My bad. It does that sometimes. I don't know why."
I autocorrected to "I'd suck." There's no way you thought that would work.
Anyways, I'm 6'3".
Damn. This is cigarette guy still from the last one.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah. and then it said, "Do you have a cigarette? Do you have meth?"
That's so sad. I'd
It
suck.
did.
Spoil with luxurious gifts. That's my autocorrect.
Yeah, my bad.
I'm
It does
texting.
that
I'm texting
sometimes.
my boss saying I'll spoil them with luxurious gifts, and then it says I suck.
Asterisk. And the asterisk completely unexplained. Anyways,
No, the
6'3".
asterisk is to say that like that's what they're trying to type instead of "I'd suck."
Oh,
Like the words "I'd suck."
you're right.
We're supposed to be spoiled with luxurious
Yeah,
gifts.
right. Yeah, they sent "I'd suck."
That's what makes it so funny.
Didn't get an immediate
That's
response.
what's so funny.
And then pivoted.
Yes.
Well, thank you for helping me break that down in real time.
You're so good.
That was great. Okay, so here we have a Tinder profile and an About Me section.
Oh.
And it states their interests are the interests that they had in common with the person that matched with them are deep chats. And we have an About Me section that says, "I'm 6'1". That's it. That's my entire personality. I'm just 6'1". Do I enjoy sports? 6'1". What's my preferred cuisine? 6'1".
Damn.
Do I prefer staying in or going out?
6'1".
Favorite Martin Scorsese movie? Goodfellas and 6'1".
Oh shit.
And is an all cap.
Yeah.
Am I looking for love or a hookup? Nobody knows. But what we do know is 6'1".
Damn. And you know for a fact that they're actually 5'10".
And then under my basics, 6'1", active.
That's really funny.
With
Okay,
a little weight.
but you know they're 5'10",
Emerging.
right?
Yeah, 5'10" and a half, 11, 5'11" max.
Have you seen that other TikTok where they go around and they ask guys, "How tall are you?"
And then how tall do you put your Tinder
No, no.
profile?
So he goes up to people and he's like, "Hey, how tall are you?" And the guy is like, "Oh, I'm 6'3." And then he pulls out a tape measure. He's like, "All
Oh
right, let's measure
shit.
you."
So he comes with the receipts and they're like, no, 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 no.
Yes. And how
Really?
many guys that say they're 6 foot and it's like 5'10"? Because as a society, we've built 6 foot to be like
Yeah, this is the
such a big
standard. You
deal.
must be this tall to ride.
Yeah.
And
And
there's
honestly,
literally we've seen so many profiles that are like, unless you're this tall, like don't at me.
yeah, I don't know if those people are real people in real life.
I don't think they're real
Have you ever
people.
met someone who like functions like that in reality where
I met one person in college that was like, you're too short.
that's crazy?
Yeah.
That's actually
But I was
crazy.
also ugly and didn't dress well and was living as a something else.
No, okay, I don't feel like those people are real.
I was never
That's like the people who care about
no.
like jawlines.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you gotta be what's it called, mewing?
I don't know.
Constantly,
Sigma
constantly,
facing?
constantly mewing. Yeah, to like bring out your jawline over time. There's a whole thing about like looks maxing.
Looks maxing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Anything like Fuda maxing?
No, that's different. That's different.
We'll do an episode on Fuda maxing.
That's not
later.
an episode of food maxing.
Anyway, episode 73 is Fuda maxing. No, it's funny that I feel like so many cis men are like, I'm taller than I really am, and all of us trans women are like, no,
Shorter.
I'm 5'9", and they're 5'11" and a half.
I take 4 inches off my height on all my dating profiles.
I take a foot
Hey, I'm 5 foot, and then I show up 7 foot.
in your size 17 Yao Ming Nike. Okay, moving on. We have it is a Tinder profile of a very pretty person with very long hair, an emoji covering their face, and the the description is need painkillers, was stabbed last week.
Damn.
And if that isn't just fucking a really sad state of society that you feel like you need to go to Tinder for painkillers. But also, if they match for me,
I
if
respect
they,
the hustle.
I respect the hustle too. And if they matched with me, I have so many painkillers.
You don't need to say that.
I don't need to say
You
that.
you didn't need to say that. FBI agent, government officials who are interested in
I
polyamory and
allegedly have a lot of buildup of painkillers from all the alleged surgeries that I've allegedly had.
The person
over
in
the
that
years.
the person in that Plenty of Fish profile is going to come to our house now.
And I allegedly take one every now and then when I strain my old people muscles.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a Reddit. No, we have a Tinder post that was posted on the Reddit. So blue text, and then the message. This looks like a iPhone text message.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I think they got
absolutely.
the digits. Blue text says, "Hey, want to go to an Eminem concert with me this Saturday?" Response is, "Yes. Where's he playing?" X. Like a little kiss. I don't know. Or
Yeah.
on
That's
this
a
type-
kiss. That's a kiss.
do you already have the tickets? Response, that's the thing. He's performing in Fortnite, so it's free.
Yo, that's kind of high. To go on a Discord
All
date.
we have to do is duo up together, LOL. Do you have a Fortnite account? I can make you one if you don't, heart emoji. And then in green text, below the blue text, it says, hello?
So obviously the person
There was
blocked
no
them.
response.
They blocked them, so now their
Yep,
texts are going
SMS
can't be-
receipts
oh
went
my
up.
god.
So they were blocked. Hello?
Okay, that's kind of cute. That's adorable. If
Oof.
someone invited me to go on a first date,
If someone asked me without immediately saying, hey, do you want to go to a Fortnite concert?
yes.
In Fortnite. If someone said, hey, do you want to go see insert your favorite band? What if somebody hit you up and said, I want to go see you want to come see My Chemical Romance with me?
Yes.
You'd be like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Cool, they're playing in Fortnite, the video game.
Yes.
That is a letdown.
No, it's not a letdown. I don't have to get dressed.
That's true. But what if you
I can watch
had
my,
it in your head,
I can listen to My Chemical Romance. in my
formulated
undies.
this idea that you're going to go see this band?
I
What if this
I
person
can't balance
loved...
people's expectations.
We disagree on this one.
I get to watch My Chemical Romance perform. I'm in my undies with a bag of hot Cheetos.
I could just listen to them.
I can't do that in public. They kick me out.
We'll agree to disagree on this one.
I think that's adorable.
I think
okay,
that's a
here's the
crazy misdirection, and I think it's akin to lying to someone.
See, here's where the generational age gap comes in. I've been on first dates on VR chat,
Yeah.
and then we met up in person later.
Cool.
Have you ever been on like an e date?
No.
Oh my god, it's
No,
so
I've not.
fun. I've been on multiple e dates.
It sounds cringe as fuck.
It's
I'm
not cringe. Leave me alone,
I
bully.
couldn't do it.
Okay.
I couldn't do it. For me,
I think it's cute.
I can't do it. I fully support your e-dates. Your cringe e-dates.
If I invited you to build a farm with me on Minecraft, the video game.
Fuck yeah, I do it. But I like am in love with you, and we play games
Okay, but
together
like
all
if
the
you didn't know
time.
me, I'm like, hey, would you like to survive in the woods with me for 100 nights?
Probably.
Okay, by the way,
Wait,
though,
100 real nights?
by the way, it's Minecraft.
Oh.
You would want to survive in real life?
Yeah.
What? No, in Minecraft.
That'd be sick.
That'd be sick.
I would love that.
We wouldn't make 10 days.
5 nights of Friday. Speaking of Friday, and this is the last one, by the way. This is a Tinder message where the person messaged the person. Anyway, want to go out Friday if you're free? I should be free. This emoji with the I'm thinking finger on the chin. Let's go out. By the way, I stalked you Instagram and jacked off to you. Crying emoji, the laugh crying, the crying.
Yeah.
And then we just have 4 question marks in response. And it's the end of
Damn,
it.
Gray really just they had it and then they lost it.
Yep, literally got the like. I think I can go out. By the way, I stalked you on Instagram and jacked off to you.
They got a yes.
And immediately ruined it.
Yeah. Dating advice, don't even if you do. Like if you're cooming just ropes daily, if you're gooning to someone's Instagram,
yeah, don't tell them.
Don't tell them.
don't tell them. Like do that. That's fine.
You can do that. Like that's ethical. I mean, it's weird. It's creepy.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone. Like you can goon all you want. Don't let anyone know.
Right. Just don't tell them.
Especially like if you really want to go on the date. Like if you're trying to get out of the date, like you're like, hey, you want to go out on Friday, and they say, yeah, I should be free.
Yeah.
And then you check your
you
check your bank account, and you're like, I got $2.04.
Yeah.
It's like, by the way,
And
I'm gooning to your Instagram right now, and
then they say, what does gooning mean?
that's where you just sit at home all day and you're
just jacking it.
You're making up for lost time.
You're just giving yourself that strange.
Yep.
The stranger.
Yeah.
You're strangering yourself. And that's the end. That's the end of we haven't named
Was your great post?
We'll have like I feel like we have had segments through this, but they're not called anything, and at some point we'll be like, and now on to what we like to call this segment. Or we won't.
Or we won't.
And
I kind of like it's freeform, where we just come up with notes for the thing.
Freeform jazz odyssey, man.
This is the weekly wind down, where I have yet to finish my glass of wine.
I've had.
You have not had 4. Have you really?
At least.
Oh my gosh. I think this wine was gross. I think polyamory is great.
We are here.
You're crazy. Good job.
I drank half a bottle of wine.
I drank half a glass.
Maybe.
It tastes like mushrooms.
Good.
This is going to be bi-weekly. If you enjoy this, you can find us anywhere you get podcasts. The weekly wind down every other week. And then if you're interested in following me, I am Ploofcake everywhere. At Ploofcake. Ploofcake. I spelled that correctly.
I'm so proud of you.
And you can follow you
at Sayheyjrey. That's SayHeyjrey. Sayheyjrey.
Yeah. And hope to see you on the next episode, where we will be talking about the polyamory glossary and the poly Bill of Rights.
And 600 other things. And maybe sucking a fart out of your Shiba Inu's ass.
No.
What?
I'm on the way to...
I thought we agreed on this.
Go look at the physics of sucking a fart. That's it, everyone. You take care. Bye.
Thanks.
We're getting demonetized.